Hi students, today is the 13th of April 2020. Uh, from the previous classes we have been dealing with the Bernoulli's equation and now we are dealing with the application of Bernoulli's equation. So the application part, the first flow measurement device which was gone through was venturimeter, and yesterday I have just concluded venturimeter. We have solved so many different problems on horizontal and inclined venturimeter. So now we will go to the next very simple device, orifice meter. You can also call it as orifice plate. Fine. So this is a device which is used again for measuring the rate of flow of a fluid in a pipe. Okay, and to be economics point of view, if you think it is cheaper than the venturimeter, why? Because it is only a plate. Okay, it is only a circular plate, so it is cheaper definitely. Okay, it's a smaller part, smaller piece compared to venturimeter. The concept of working is very same. It works on the Bernoulli's principle. Okay, if you see, it consists of a flat circular plate. Okay, this is one of the view which will show you. See, this will be a total circular plate, and in that particular plate there will be a very sharp circular edge made, and that particular edge, okay, or the edged hole, circular hole, we call this as orifice. Fine. So those are the two parts. It is a circular plate and you have a circular hole in it. That is a simple thing, and both are concentric circles actually. The diameter, orifice diameter, is a 0.5 times of that of the pipe. That means we are thinking about this particular hole, it is will be approximately half, or it may vary from 0.4 to 0.8 also. What we are going to do is we are going to take a section 1 which is around 1 to 2 times that of the diameter of the pipe, and that section 1 will be connected to a manometer, and the other part of the, what you can say, section 2, the different section of a pipe, will be after the orifice meter, and it will be around half of the orifice diameter. Okay, very near to the orifice meter you will have section 2, little bit far away from orifice meter you will have a section 1. Fine. So you are going to take these two sections, very important. One is before orifice meter, the other one is after orifice meter. The flow direction is like this. So here what is going to happen is you are going to measure the value of x, the manometer reading you are going to get, that's it. And using the same old story of Bernoulli's equation, we are going to find out the rate of flow. Okay, so if you want to see the working of venturimeter, yeah, this particular video will show you the orifice plate. You see here you have a circular plate, fine, okay, and you have a hole over here. This is your orifice, this is the circular hole, concentric hole. See, you have a section 1 and section 2, two different parts which is connecting here. Here the connection is shown to a diaphragm. Okay, diaphragm is another, what you can say, instrument, mechanical gauge by which you can measure the pressure. Okay, if you want you can keep the what you can say, differential manometer here. As in our syllabus we do the differential manometer. So when the fluid is flowing over here, okay, the fluid, there will be an abrupt change in the velocity, okay, around this particular orifice, and the fluid will be asked to move, okay, around this particular, through this particular, okay, the fluid is going to be, you are going to get the pressure difference reading over here. That's it. Okay, if the fluid is not flowing, then there is no pressure difference. Definitely you will not get any reading of the, what you can say, value of x, pressure value, will not get it. Once the fluid starts moving, then you get some value over here. Okay, you get a reading, and using mathematical equation, Bernoulli equation, we can actually find out what is the rate of flow or how much fluid is actually moving. Okay, note down this particular area where you have a convergence like this, okay, where you have getting a curve like this. Okay, this particular curve we call it as a vena contracta. Okay, I will just see it, I'll just show you what the vena contracta is. Okay, just when we move on I will just show you. Okay, now if you see the pictorial representation over here, you have a pipe, you have a orifice plate or the orifice meter. The fluid is flowing from left to right. When the fluid is moving over here, see, the movement of the fluid will take a turn over here, right? This movement, the streamline flow movement, will take a turn over here because we have a plate and plate over here, and this is the hole, and through this hole it has to move. The velocity increases abruptly over this particular region. Okay, there will be drop in pressure. P1 will be greater than P2. Now what is going to happen out here is you will get a region after or near to this particular hole where the diameter of the flow, see, this is the fluid diameter, it is changing and it will come to a minimum value. So that particular area or that particular diameter which has got a very minimum diameter of the flow of the fluid, okay, you call it as a vena contracta. The name is called vena contracta. Okay, you will have maximum velocity over here and minimum diameter. Why this is going to happen is that the streamlines cannot change its direction abruptly because of this very sharp change in the what you can say angle. Okay, very sharp edge, because this is exactly 90-degree change is happening. The fluid cannot change its direction abruptly. So you will find the fluid is going to give a particular movement where you can find a vena contracta. Okay, so let us assume P1, V1 and A1 at the section 1, pressure, velocity and area. Okay, P2, V2 and A2 are at the section 2, and this is the section where we assume that vena contracta is over here. Pressure, velocity and area at the section 1 and section 2. Apply Bernoulli's equation. So P1 by rho g, V1 square by 2g plus Z1, P2 by rho g is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2. Okay, that's fine to you. You know Bernoulli's equation. Now rearrange the term. Okay, take the velocity term on the right hand side. Take the pressure and your head term on the height terms on the or potential head energy term on the left hand side. You get the equations. Now you have defined a small h. Okay, so define the small h as P1 by rho g plus Z1 minus P2 by rho g plus Z2. Same as your Venturi-meter, what you can say derivation, we are doing the same thing. Okay, differential head you are getting. Now h will be equal to either your left hand side or the right hand side. Now if you work on the right hand side, h is equal to V2 square minus V1 square divided by 2g if I take 2g common. And if I take it on the left hand side, 2gh will be V2 square minus V1 square. Work on the second velocity. Okay, take V2 is equal to root of 2gh plus V1 square, and I told you that section 2 where you have a lowest diameter, highest velocity, the velocity, that particular region is called a vena contracta region, and let that particular region be the region 2. That's what I told you. So that represents your A2, area of vena contracta. If A0 is the area of the orifice, we are defining something called coefficient of contraction. This is very important. So your CC will be equal to A2 divided by A0. A0 is the area of the orifice area. Okay, that is this area. Okay, the bigger area, and you have something called A2, which is a vena contracta area or the section 2 area. A2 by A0 will be equal to CC. This is very important. It is going to be less than 1. So A2 is A0 into CC. By continuity equation, you know A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. I can relate V1 and V2, right? So your V1 will be A2 by A1 into V2, and A2 I can substitute here A0 into CC. By substitution I get the value of V1 in terms of V2, okay, including CC, coefficient of contraction. Now substitute this. Okay, V1 is equal to A0 CC by A1 into V2 in the equation 1, where we have V2 is equal to root of 2gh plus V1 square. You do the substitution. When you do the substitution, now you work on it, you square it, V2 square, your square root goes off, okay, or you can actually take it with terms of V2 over here, okay, 2gh, you take it on that other side. Finally you are going to get V2 is equal to root of 2gh divided by root of 1 minus A0 by A1 the whole square into CC square. Okay, this is a mere mathematical way you are solving it. Now the discharge Q will be equal to V2 into A2. So V2 into A2. See, A2 can be written in terms of CC. CC is equal to, we had A0 divided by A2, right? Sorry, CC was equal to A2 divided by A0. I'm very sorry. So your A2 can be written as CC into A0. So Q will be equal to, okay, A0 CC into root of 2GH divided by same thing. Okay, you are just substituting V2, okay, in this equation, Q equation. Similarly, A2 I am substituting from the CC equation. That's it. Now the above expression can be simplified, okay, by using CD is equal to, okay, okay, we are defining a new term called CD over here, and CD is nothing but your coefficient of discharge. Okay, CD is nothing but coefficient of discharge of orifice meter. So CD is equal to CC into root of 1 minus A0 by A1 the whole square divided by 1 minus A0 by A1 the whole square into CC square. So this is the only change from the numerator part. So I can actually substitute, or I can write CC is equal to CD into the denominator term divided by the numerator term. Now you apply, you go back to your equation, what you can say, you have taken it from here. Your Q is equal to your equation 4. Okay. Here I can substitute for CC, right? That is the only thing that I can do over here. You are substituting for CC, you are substituting for CC. Okay, after doing this substitution, now you can actually work out, okay, this 1 minus A0, this get cancelled off, and you have a CD A0 left, root of 2GH divided by root of 1 minus this whole thing remains out here. Okay, now you can take LCM. Okay, take your A1 and what is that, A1, you can take it outside, A1 square, so A1 will come over here, so the final equation will be CD A0 A1 root of 2GH divided by root of A1 square minus A0 square. So you need to do some simple mathematical work, simplification over here. Okay, you need to remember the CD equation, this is very important. Okay, see the equation at the final one, what we actually obtained in Venturi meter, this almost it is a similar kind, right? This particular expression CD, okay, where I had two area A1 A2 root of something 2GH, same thing in the Venturi meter divided by root of the two areas square difference was same thing I am getting over here. Okay, but I will get it in terms of A0 and A1. A2 is not there in this particular final equation. Okay, this is very important. Note it. We don't have A2. We defined A2 as section 2. Area 2 we had defined, but at the final one we don't have it. We have A0, which is the area of the orifice. Okay, the orifice area is important here. Okay, the in first section area is important over here to find it. And for when you come to CD here, okay, if I see a CD equation also, see I don't have A2. Okay, so these are very important, what you can say, derivation which you can think of. Okay, in your VT examination also this is important. Okay, you need to remember CC also. Okay, A2 divided by A0, this is very very important. So nobody will give you CC directly, they will give you A2, so they will give you A0. So if you remember this small, you can say, fraction, you can find out CC. Only when you find CC, then only, okay, you can move on with the problem. They may not give you CD also, so you need to find CD, okay, from this particular equation. Okay, only through areas you can find CC and CD. So this is very very important. Okay, I'll wind up my video on orifice meter derivation. We will see the problems from the next class. Thank you.